In my past life, I loved Bo Gu to the point of madness, doing all sorts of wild things for him, yet he caused my family's downfall, and I died without a place to be buried. Reborn at 18, Bo Gu is now looking at me with disdain. Take your dirty money, I don't want it. I decisively took back the bank card. Funny, I didn't want to give it to him either. Whoever wants to help the poor can go ahead, I'm not sticking around. Take your dirty money, I don't want it. The young man in front of me had a defiant look on his face, staring at me as if I were something filthy. Because of his sudden raised voice, many people in the bustling school building area gathered around to look. Soon enough, someone recognized the two of us. Isn't that Zara Lynn, Bo Gu's biggest fan? She's so shameless, coming to fawn over our noble school heartthrob again. Exactly, does she even know how to spell the word shame? This Zara Lynn, just because her family is rich. She thinks she can insult people with money all day long. It's utterly vulgar. The surrounding chatter jolted me out of my daze. I had truly been reborn, back to the age of 18. I looked at the young Bo Gu before me, briefly sinking into confusion before quickly regaining clarity. The despair of being driven to a dead end by Bo Gu and jumping from the 22nd floor resurfaced in my mind. The next second, my slap landed on his face. You ungrateful piece of trash. How dare you shout at me like that? I am 18 years old now, not 38. Now I am the young lady of the Lin family, not that Zara Lynn who was driven to desperation by him. He only treated me this way because he knew I loved him. But unfortunately, I'm wide awake now. Who's going to spoil him anymore? Bo Gu was clearly stunned by my slap, freezing for a second before reacting. Zara Lynn, are you F***ing crazy? How dare you hit me? His face was full of humiliation as he raised his hand high, ready to strike back. I gave a contemptuous smile, raised my face, and took the initiative to step forward. What? Want to hit me? Do you dare? He looked at me hesitantly, seemingly unable to understand why my attitude had changed so drastically. Shouldn't I be fawning over him? Shouldn't I, as always, not talk back when he scolds me, and even obediently stuff money into his pocket? His face turned livid, and he silently lowered his hand, ultimately not daring to strike. I looked at this scene and suddenly laughed out loud. This is the man I loved for half my life in my previous life. Turns out he couldn't escape the ordinary either. Without my love, he's just an average young man. In my past life, to win his favor, knowing he came from a poor family, I tried every way to support him financially, buy him delicious food, brand name clothes and shoes, give him high-end phones, top-of-the-line computers, and even offer him money. Classmates and teachers all know that Bo Gu has Zara Lynn, an extreme admirer at school, who is tacky and constantly tries to corrupt him with materialistic temptations built on money. However, Bo Gu, a student of noble character, despite his humble background and financial struggles, refuses to accept handouts. Each time he faces the vulgar Zara Lynn, he responds with cold disdain, firmly upholding his principles. Everyone praises him, saying that Bo Gu is truly principled, the future of the nation, and a pillar of the country, but they don't know that Bo Gu acts impatient with me in front of others. Yet behind the scenes, he accepts everything I offer without hesitation. Just like earlier, if I forcefully stuffed this bank card into his pocket, he would put on a reluctant act, then express shame and indignation, telling Zara Lynn and everyone else that the money is just a loan. He is so good at putting on a show, reaping all the good reputation. In reality, he is utterly hypocritical and a complete ingrate. In my past life, I treated him so well, only to end up inviting a wolf into the house, leading to the downfall of my family and my own tragic death by jumping off a building. In this life, I will never be love-struck again, and I will never help an ungrateful person again. Let this damned man suffer all the hardships of the world. Thinking of this, I sneered coldly. Coward. My voice clearly reached Bo Gu's ears. His face instantly flushed bright red, and he glared at me, gritting his teeth as he said, Zara Lynn, don't go too far, you're just a little rich, that's all. Oh, so this is what you call stinky money. I picked up the bank card in my hand and chuckled softly. In that case, I'll take it back. I actually think it smells pretty good. A flicker of surprise passed through Bo Gu's eyes, as if he hadn't expected me to actually take it back. Then, as if suddenly realizing something, a deep sense of humiliation welled up in his eyes once more. Zara Lynn, you did this on purpose. You know my mother is sick and needs money, so you deliberately came to flaunt it in front of me, you despicable, shameless woman. I'd rather die poor than accept your charity, and I will never be your boyfriend. You disgust me." After saying that, Bo Ji no longer looked at me and turned to leave. "Wait, you're not allowed to go," I called out to stop him. Trying to leave like this would be letting him off too easily. However, Bo Ji was clearly mistaken. He turned around smugly, a mocking smile curling at the corner of his lips. "What, regretting it now, Zara Lin? Let me tell you, even if you kneel and beg me, I won't forgive you." I looked at Bogu's bizarrely confident demeanor and couldn't help but laugh. "Bo Ji, you really have a lot of nerve. I get that you're vain and care about your image, and you don't like my straightforward style. But in front of others, you put on a high and mighty act, refusing my gifts and money, yet behind the scenes you accept everything without hesitation. How do you explain that?" Bo Ji never expected me to expose everything so bluntly. Disregarding his pride, his face turned a mix of green and purple. Quite a spectacle. But this was only the beginning. I looked into his eyes and raised my voice to the surrounding onlookers. "Classmates, what do you all think? Isn't this behavior of his like wanting to be a prostitute while also putting up a memorial arch for chastity?" Wow, as my words fell, the crowd instantly erupted in an uproar. No one had expected there to be such a juicy piece of gossip between us. The tone of the onlookers immediately changed. "What? So Bo Ji is such a two-faced person. No wonder he can afford the latest sneakers and the newest phone even though he's supposed to be poor. Turns out he's been secretly accepting gifts from Zara Lin. What a hypocrite, shamelessly pretending to be something he's not, and to think I used to like him so much. What a letdown, disgusting man, tilde." The surrounding discussions made Bogu's face flush bright red. He stammered an explanation to the people around him. "It's not like that. Don't listen to this malicious woman's nonsense. She's just angry because I rejected her advances. I'm not that kind of person." Hearing this explanation, some of the onlookers changed their attitude. "I stand with Bo Ji. Zara Lin must be acting out of spite, destroying what she can't have. What a vicious woman." Others held opposing views. "But Zara Lin is so wealthy, she wouldn't need to frame Bo Ji, right? And how do you explain all those designer clothes on Bo Ji?" Public opinion was turning increasingly against Bo Ji. Anxious, he pointed at me and said through gritted teeth, "Don't listen to her nonsense. She forced all these things on me. I never wanted them." I watched Bogu's desperate flailing with amusement and remarked leisurely, "I forced you. I could force you to accept them, and even force you to wear them. You really have a big head but a small brain. Spouting lies without even thinking. You're undoubtedly an idiot." Onlookers, is Bo Ji really that brainless? Does he even believe what he's saying? If he didn't want it, how did Zara Lin's clothes end up on him? Today I finally saw what it means to eat soft rice with a hard attitude. Disgusting tilde. Bo Ji, at the center of the controversy, was frantic. "No, really, she forced it on me. I really didn't want it." I stand quietly by, watching Bo Ji go into a frenzy. He is not yet the head of the Lin group, not that smiling tiger hiding a dagger in his velvet paws. His temperament and cunning are still far from refined. Look at him. He can't even handle a little bit of public pressure. In my past life, he drove my entire family to ruin, seized our company, and was called a cuckoo usurping the nest, a freeloader with a tough act, the world's most ungrateful wolf in sheep's clothing. Yet he never got angry. Now, he seems so fragile that I could shatter his bones with just a flick of my hand. Interesting. Bo Ji, just like this, I'll trample you into the mud bit by bit. I will take back all the gifts I gave you, making you respect your own fate and become a rat that can only look up to people like us. Oh, I deliberately looked him up and down with a bold and frivolous gaze. Brand A sneakers, brand C belt, brand F shirt. So you don't want these nice things after all. Fine, give them all back to me. Bo Ji was indeed flushed with shame and anger, and he retorted stubbornly, "Fine, I'll return them. I'll take them off and give them back to you as soon as I get back. Who even wants these worthless rags? Junk." But all this junk on him adds up to over 100,000, which is more than his 4 years of college tuition. As a poor student, what gives him the right to look down on these things? And even more so, to look down on me who provided them for him. I really did spoil him. I shook my head and said, "Bo Ji, you've misunderstood. I mean all of it, everything I've given you over the years, I want it all back. Bo Ji-yu, upon hearing this, showed an expression of disbelief but quickly snapped back to reality, his eyes instantly filling with resentment. Zara Lin, I knew you were a petty person. Just because I exchanged a few more words with Jiang Xinyu, you're trying to ruin me like this. Fine, I'll return everything to you. I found it amusing. Bo Ji-yu really isn't up to par these days. He still hasn't realized the danger and actually thinks I'm just jealous. I curled my lips into a faint smile. Alright then, it's settled. I'll send someone to collect everything tonight. You'd better have it all sorted out in advance. I watched Bo Gu's fleeing back as he hurried away and took out my phone from my pocket. I think he still didn't fully understand what I meant by returning everything. Hello, Uncle Wu, it's Zara. Please cancel the funding for Bo Ji-yu, and also withdraw the special care for Bo Gu's mother at the hospital. By the way, the house near the school that was lent to him for free. Please help me take it back. After hanging up the phone, I let out a long, heavy sigh. Good. With these arrangements, I think Bo Ji-yu will understand that I mean to take everything back. Without me, facing the harsh reality alone, let's see how long he can maintain his noble persona. The incident in front of the teaching building was quickly spread by people. Some even posted it on the school's forum. Bo Ji-yu was clearly hit hard by it. He didn't attend the 2 professional courses in the afternoon. For a good student like him, this was a first. Seeing Bo Ji-yu absent, many classmates secretly turned to look at me during class, probably guessing when I would lower my head and apologize to him. I paid no mind to those glances. Having a second chance, who has time for romance? I'm here to study seriously. As the only child in the family, the Lin family's legacy will one day be handed over to me. This time, I will firmly grasp the power in my own hands, and no one can take it away from me. As soon as class ended, I picked up my phone and called a Didi, not even waiting for the family driver to come pick me up. I miss my parents. In my previous life, due to a wrong decision, the Lin family lost control of the company. My father was so enraged by Bo Ji-yu that he died, and my mother, overwhelmed with grief, passed away soon after. After that, I lived on alone, determined to drag Bo Ji-yu down to hell. But at the critical moment, I was betrayed by my closest friend and ended up being outsmarted by them. In utter despair, I ended my miserable life by jumping off a building. Think about it. I haven't seen my parents for 3 years. Now I just want to throw myself into their arms and give them a good hug. I kept urging the driver to go faster so I could get home as soon as possible. Soon, the familiar garden house came into view, and my heart felt warm, tears welling up in my eyes uncontrollably. I opened the car door and got out. Just as I was about to walk into the yard, a figure rushed out. Zara Lin, wait, Sky Ji-yu, Bo Gu's younger sister, was wearing a white dress and ran up to me. She stopped in front of me, her plain and sharp face frowning tightly, and lectured me with a condescending attitude. Zara Lin, how could you treat my brother like that? Do you have any idea how much you're hurting a man's pride? Men care about their dignity, and by doing this, you'll never win him over. Me, I really don't know what to do with you. How about this? Give me that diamond necklace you got for your last birthday, and I'll help you talk things over with my brother. He's soft-hearted, so I'll try to persuade him. He might just forgive you if he's in a better mood. She put on an act of great generosity, making it sound so natural to try and trick me out of my things. That diamond necklace of mine is worth 8 figures. Her appetite is truly enormous. In her previous life, she deliberately got close to me, using the excuse of helping me pursue her brother to become my best friend. I was naive and thought she genuinely cared for me, so I fulfilled all her requests without question. Expensive bags worth hundreds of thousands. Costly jewelry. If she asked for them, I gave them to her without hesitation. She swindled many valuable things from me, crafting herself a persona of a wealthy heiress at school and basking in the spotlight. And yet, when Bo Ji-yu was harming me, she stood by, laughing and clapping, saying she had disliked me for a long time. I had originally planned to deal with her later, but now that she's come to me on her own, it would be a waste of my second chance at life not to make her regret it. Seeing me standing still, she raised her head high and glanced at me sideways, saying, "Why aren't you going to get it?" I smiled and nodded in response. "All right, just wait a moment." Wait, I'll go gather some people right now and take back everything I gave you. I rushed into the house and saw my dad chatting with a group of uncles, among whom Uncle Jong would later become a big shot in the new energy industry. Our families used to be very close, but later, Bo Ji did a lot of things that offended him deeply, which led to him cutting ties with our family. Yet, he was the only one still willing to help us after our family fell into decline. I will always remember that he was the one who rented an apartment for me when I had lost everything and also offered me a job. I saw these familiar and lively faces again and walked over excitedly. Dad, Uncle Jong, Uncle Wang, hello, everyone. My dad's eyes lit up when he saw me return. Zara, why are you back so early today? I know what my dad means. In the past, at this time, I would always be following Bo Ji around, either accompanying him while he delivered takeout, or working with him at a coffee shop, or going with him to the hospital to take care of his mother who has uremia. I was practically a hopeless simp. Thankfully, I see things clearly now. I smiled at my dad and said, I just missed you, so I wanted to come back early to see you. I've missed you for 2 lifetimes. I thought to myself silently. Hearing this, my dad's smile grew even wider. All right, if that's how you feel, I'll come back early from now on. Isn't our home more comfortable than those coffee shops and hospitals outside? I wholeheartedly agreed and responded loudly, yes. Uncle Jong looked at me and smiled, greeted me, and then asked how my life at school was and how my studies were going. After chatting with me for a while, he got back to business with my dad, old Lin. I wonder if you know much about this new energy sector. I think this project will be very promising in the future. The country is now starting to prioritize environmental issues, and it's also a major trend internationally. Wow, Uncle Jong is here to collaborate with my dad on a new energy project. Oh my God, how come I didn't know about this in my previous life? This is a major project with a bright future, promising to be incredibly lucrative. You should know that the world's richest person, Elon Musk, started his fortune with new energy vehicles. If my dad joins this project, he would own the original shares of Uncle Jong's company. Then, there would be no need to worry about any schemes or plots in the future. He could retire and live comfortably for generations. Uncle Jong actually invited my dad to join so early. Of course we have to say yes. After Uncle Jong finished speaking, I also looked at my dad expectantly. I kept winking at him, almost wanting to agree on his behalf. But I waited and waited, only to see my dad looking up at the sky one moment and down at the ground the next, putting on a thoughtful expression, but just not agreeing. After a long hesitation, he finally said, actually, I don't know much about this new energy, but when it comes to driving, I also prefer gasoline cars. Step on the gas, and with a roar, it just takes off, so I think people will still rely on gasoline cars in the future, which is why I'm not very interested in this project. My heart sank as I suddenly remembered my father's overly cautious nature. No, our Lin family must get involved in this project. With that thought, I grabbed old Lin. Uncles, please have a seat for a moment. I need to talk to my dad about something, and I'll be right out. My dad followed me into the study. Looking confused, I closed the door, turned around, and looked at my dad with a serious expression. Old Lin, don't go too far. My dad, I continued. New energy is a booming project with a bright future. My father disagreed. What do you know as a student? Don't let others fool you. Zara, the family's money can't be spent recklessly. It's the dowry I've saved for you. His words successfully brought tears to my eyes. He said the same thing in my past life. And truly, after I married Bo Ji, he handed everything over to me without holding anything back. Unfortunately, I mistakenly trusted that scoundrel Bo Ji and ended up losing everything in the family. In this lifetime, I will be the one to protect my family. I turned around and quickly wiped the tears from the corner of my eyes, adjusted my mindset, and said, Dad, how do you know I don't understand? I studied finance and am familiar with the most cutting-edge knowledge. I'm telling you, our school's dean is a real heavyweight in the industry. When he taught our class, he said that based on his research from his overseas inspections and macro policies, the future of the country's market lies in new energy. You absolutely must invest in Uncle Jong's project. You can't miss this opportunity. What I said was half true and half false, but my dad believed it. He looked at me with sparkling eyes and said with relief, Zara, you've grown up. All right, I'll take your advice and invest. Dad always thought you were not focusing on your studies at school and were only chasing after that boy named Bo Ji. It turns out you actually had a plan in mind. Dad can rest assured now. Yes, Dad, you can rest assured, I won't let love cloud my judgment anymore. After my father went out, he immediately expressed his willingness to invest in Uncle Jong's project, which moved Uncle Jong and the uncles who accompanied him deeply. Uncle Jong was even on the verge of tears. It turned out they had already faced many rejections. Currently, New Energy is an emerging project in China, and many people are not familiar with it, making it very difficult for them to secure funding. But their company is currently in a very critical stage of technological development. If they can't find funding soon, the research and development will have to be delayed by at least 2 years. Now my dad is willing to join, then the progress of this project will be much faster. It was only then that I realized why Uncle Jong's rise was so delayed in his previous life. Although it doesn't affect his future as a big shot in the new energy industry, I heard he went through several tough years. Now with my involvement, he will likely succeed even faster. Then our Lin family should be able to make even more money. After finishing the discussion here, Uncle Jong and the others are about to take their leave. When I saw them out, I suddenly remembered that Sky Gu was still waiting for me outside. I also noticed the drivers who came with Uncle Jong and the other uncles. Each of them was burly and strong, looking like they could knock out a Sky Gu with a single punch. Suddenly, a brilliant idea flashed into my mind, and I asked, "Uncles, do you have any plans later?" As soon as I stepped out of the courtyard gate, Sky Gu couldn't wait to complain. "Zara Lin, you took so long just to fetch something. Were you doing it on purpose, thinking about the plans for later?" I said good-naturedly. "How could that be? It's just that something came up at home, and I got delayed a bit." Seeing my good attitude, Sky Gu flashed a hint of disdain in her eyes. "Then I'll be merciful and forgive you, but don't let it happen again, otherwise, I won't speak well of you in front of my brother anymore." Me, "Well, thank you so much for that." Sky Gu nodded with satisfaction and naturally reached out her hand, saying, "Where's my diamond necklace? Listen. This has become hers. How foolish was I in my past life to have spoiled her so much. Fortunately, I've finally come to my senses now." I shook my head. I just went back to look and realized the diamond necklace was taken by my mom. You know, she just happened to go abroad these past few days. Sky Gu immediately protested. "Then what should we do?" "I don't care. I already promised my friends I'd bring the diamond necklace to the party." "Zara Lin, the diamond necklace is something you owe me. Now you have to figure out a solution for me." Sky Gu's bandit logic was used to perfection. I didn't give her my things, and it became like I owed her, and she really would come to ask for them later. She was like this in her past life too, many times. I found such petty behavior very uncomfortable, but at the time, I thought she was Bo Gu's sister and just a young girl, so I didn't take it to heart. I would always put her first in everything, doing my best to satisfy her, but even though I treated her so well, she still looked down on me. Later, when Bo Gu caused me so much suffering that I wanted to jump off a building, she stood downstairs laughing and clapping, telling me to jump sooner so I wouldn't waste her time. I tried hard to suppress the turmoil in my heart and said with a smile, "I understand. I'll definitely find a way for you." Sky Gu finally calmed down a bit. "What's the plan?" I smiled mysteriously. "It's a surprise. You'll find out later. I'm actually heading to your place now, so I'll tell you when I get there." Sky Gu lifted her head high and gave me a disdainful look. "All right. I knew you were going to apologize to my brother. I'll go back with you and put in a good word for you, but the surprise later better not be any less impressive than your diamond necklace." I nodded sincerely. "Don't worry, it definitely won't be." Sky Gu, this surprise is absolutely huge, one that you'll remember for a lifetime. "Zara, where are you all heading?" Just as Sky Gu and I were about to head back to her place, Uncle Jong and a few other uncles drove out of our courtyard in 5 luxury cars. These uncles are all company executives, each driving a high-end car. Sky Gu couldn't take his eyes off. I laughed and said, "Uncle Jong, I'm planning to go to a classmate's house to play." Uncle Jong said warmly, "That's perfect, I'll give you a ride there." Before I could say anything, Sky Gu opened the car door and plopped right in, saying in a high-pitched voice, "Zara Lin, come on up, this brother is so nice." Me, got it. I didn't expect Sky Gu to be so cooperative. I didn't even have to act. Calling him brother, I call Jong uncle, but she calls him brother. This is really shameless. I clenched my fists tightly to keep from vomiting the food I had eaten the day before. All the way, Sky Gu kept trying to cozy up to Uncle Jong, but he, already aware of her intentions, paid her no attention. It was just hard on me, having to endure the stench of a sly fox all the way. Their family lives in the most run-down and chaotic small bungalow in our city, and even that is rented. They won't get a chance to be involved in any future urban demolitions. After walking through a long alley, I finally arrived at the GU residence. I exchanged a glance with Uncle Jong and got out of the car. As soon as I stepped out and stood still, I saw that Bo Gu had just returned as well. When Bo Gu saw me, he raised his head high. The boy's eyes were downcast, making it hard to discern his expression, which only added a touch of melancholy to his demeanor. To be honest, he was genuinely good-looking. Back then, having watched a lot of idol dramas and being influenced by them, I was utterly captivated by boys with that melancholic aura. It was his face and that utterly worthless melancholic charm that completely bewitched me back in the day. It's a pity that beneath his glamorous exterior lies an ungrateful and ambitious heart. In his previous life, he received so many favors from me. When he had no money for school, I funded him. His sister's luxurious lifestyle was supported by me, and when his mother fell ill with uremia and needed a kidney transplant, I was the one who helped with the treatment. Even after graduation, when he wanted to start a business, I invested in him, and I even used the entire Lin family fortune as a dowry to support him. And then what? The first thing he did after becoming successful was to betray our entire family. He said he was tired of being looked down upon by others. He was tired of people calling him a freeloader or a pretty boy, and even more tired of our parents looking down on him when he was young. Looking down on him. What he called my parents looking down on him was actually them telling him to treat me well when we got married, or else they wouldn't let him off. But he was spineless and ended up holding a grudge over these things. He caused the downfall of our Lin family, killed my parents, and in the end, drove me to my death. The smug, twisted face of Bo Gu from my past life slowly overlapped with the young face before me now. He glanced at me, frowned slightly, and without saying a word, opened his own door and walked inside. But he didn't close the door. Instead, he turned around and said to Sky Gu, "Don't bring just any dirty, smelly thing into the house from now on." Sky Gu shot me a glare and said, "Look what you've done to upset my brother. Hurry up and go inside to apologize." Watching the performance of these two, I let out a cold laugh inside. In my past life, the two of them were always good at this routine, one playing the good cop, the other the bad cop, manipulating me both openly and covertly, making me apologize on my own. I rolled my eyes dramatically, pushed the door open, and walked in. Inside the room, Bogu's mother was actually there too. Indeed, without my money, how could she bear to stay in the hospital? As soon as she saw me come in, her bulging fish eyes welled up with tears, making them look even more swollen. "Zara, Auntie knows you look down on our family. It's my illness that's been a burden on you all. I won't get treatment anymore. I won't. I just beg you not to look down on Bo. He's a good kid. The way you treated him at school today really broke my heart. Auntie has lived half her life, and if I die, so be it. You're still young. As long as you treat Bo well, I'll make him marry you," Bo Gu quickly said. "Mom, what are you talking about? Why give up on treatment? I'll get you treated. And why are you begging her? I would never marry such a malicious, petty woman." I couldn't be bothered to watch the two of them perform, and instead, my eyes wandered around the house, examining it inside and out. The television, washing machine, and refrigerator were all things I bought for Bogu's family when I saw how poor and empty their home was. The sofa and coffee table in their living room were also purchased by me. The computer, bed, gaming console, desk, keyboard, and sneakers in Bogu's bedroom were all gifts from me. Every piece of clothing, bag, makeup, and jewelry in Sky Gu's room was also given by me. Damn it. How could I be so stupid to buy so many things for them? No, I'm taking everything with me. Seeing that I didn't speak, Bogu's mother raised her head, glanced at me, and said, "This child has such a temper. Ignoring us now. Well, I might as well just die." Bo Gu, "Mom, don't be angry. I'll make her kneel and apologize to you." "Zara Lin, come over here and kneel down right now." I turned my head, squinting dangerously at Bo Gu, then at his mother. That damn old woman's big gold bracelet on her wrist and the thick gold necklace around her neck. I bought those too, the farewell gift I gave her. She didn't even appreciate it, saying she only likes gold because it looks pleasing. These shouldn't be forgotten either. I'll take them all later. Seeing that I remained silent, Bo Jiu and his mother exchanged a glance, both looking a bit flustered. They seemed unsure about me. Usually, when they put me in such a position, wouldn't I have already groveled, flattered, and apologized in every possible way? Why is it different now? Bo Jiu coughed lightly, putting on a long-suffering expression as he conceded, Zara Lynn, if you don't want to kneel, that's fine. But you have to clear my name at school. Just post on the school forum, saying that you were driven to madness by unrequited love, which is why you spouted nonsense and slandered me. If you act like this, I'll reluctantly agree to be your boyfriend for now, but if you don't behave well in the future and throw tantrums like you are now, I'll break up with you immediately. He had such a condescending, patronizing attitude that it made me sick to my stomach. He must be out of his mind. And he still thinks so highly of himself right now. Is your brain working properly? I rolled my eyes at Bo Jiu and shouted outside, Uncle Jong, come on in. At my word, Uncle Jong rushed in with a few uncles and their burly drivers. Uncle Jong rolled up his sleeves and said, Zara, just tell us what to do and we'll do it. I pointed at Bogu's house and said, these, and these, except for these useless people. Take everything else away. I bought all of it, got it. Many hands make light work. Everyone, upon hearing my words, immediately started moving things. Bo Jiu and the others were stunned, but it was Bogu's mother who reacted first. She rushed out and said, don't touch that. That's my washing machine, my TV, my refrigerator. Put it down right now. This is robbery. Someone call the police. Catch them. I looked at Bogu's mother rolling on the ground and throwing a tantrum, and laughed. Are you sure all these things are yours? Bogu's mother was taken aback. What do you mean? If they're not mine, are they yours? Murder and robbery. Someone do something about these lawless bastards. I went up and grabbed Bogu's mom's hand, pulling off the big gold bracelet. This is also mine. Go ahead and cry. Go ahead and call the police. I have all the purchase records and receipts for these things, even if the heavens themselves come. These things are mine. My big gold bracelet, and this is also mine. Bogu's mom's necklace was also yanked off by me. My gold necklace. Call the police. Call the police. Catch this little bitch. Sky Gu had just been outside, but now, sensing something was wrong, she rushed in. Seeing Uncle Jong and the others continuously moving things out of her room, she screamed as if being slaughtered. Zara Lynn, are you trying to die? How could you do this? Didn't you say you were coming to my house to surprise me? If you do this, I'm telling you. My brother will never forgive you. I found the jewelry box that Sky Gu had taken from me and checked the items inside. Fortunately, everything was still there. Then, right in front of Sky Gu, I put the jewelry box into my bag and flashed a big grin, saying, this is my surprise. So, are you surprised and happy or not? Zara Lynn, you tricked me. I'm going to kill you. Sky Gu wanted to rush over but was promptly grabbed and lifted by Uncle Jong's driver. Where did this groundhog come from, daring to yelp in front of our young lady? Bogu's mother, seeing her daughter at a disadvantage, stopped her tantrum and scrambled up from the ground, shouting toward the outside, help, murder, they're robbing us. It must be said, her shout was actually quite effective. Soon, a few people who didn't know the truth ran over, wanting to come in and help. Uncle Jong said to them, you'd better not interfere, we're just taking our own things back. We won't harm anyone or take lives, and we certainly won't hit anyone. Who says it's yours? It's ours. Bogu's mother cursed loudly. Just because my son doesn't like this little slut and doesn't want to date her, she sent people to rob our house. She should be sent to prison and shot. I couldn't help but laugh when I heard that. I stole things. Every single item here was bought by me, and I have all the purchase records. And you, what do you have? Spreading rumors is easy. Do you believe I could counter-accuse you, saying these things were stolen from me? Do you know how many years in prison that would amount to? Bo Jiu was taken aback, not expecting me to be so articulate. She didn't know how to respond. Bo Jiu lowered his head in silence, lost in thought. When a loud male voice rang out from the crowd, Bo Jiu, didn't you say your dad passed away long ago? Your mom is unemployed and constantly on medication in the hospital. And you and your sister are both still in school. Your family is supposed to be dirt poor. I was wondering, how could you all wear gold and silver, and dress in designer brands every day? So it turns out you're living off someone else. The crowd erupted in jeers at these words. Those who had wanted to step forward to help quickly retreated. He's freeloading and still has the nerve to argue. I looked toward the person who had spoken and realized it was a familiar face. Jong Hung, Bogu's rival from his youth. I remember in my past life when I came here to find Bo Ji-yu, I often ran into him. Whenever he saw me with Bo Ji-yu, he would always make sarcastic remarks to him. Bo Ji-yu often spoke ill of him in front of me, and gradually, I stopped greeting him when I saw him. Now, thinking back carefully, I realized that he was actually trying to give me hints back then, but I was so love-struck that I didn't understand a single word. I smiled at him gratefully and continued directing people to move the things. As for Bo Ji-yu, perhaps his pride was too deeply wounded. As he didn't utter a single word until everything was moved, it wasn't until I took his computer that he glared at me resentfully and said in a muffled voice, "Zara Lin, I know you did this on purpose just to get my attention, but I won't forgive you." Me, then don't forgive me. Goodbye to you. Stay away from me for the rest of your life. Only after moving the things back did I feel a bit of the resentment in my heart dissipate. After lying in bed at night and finishing a video call with my dear mother, I was just about to get my beauty sleep. Bogu's call came through. Unlucky thing. Who wants to answer your call? I immediately hung up again. Then provided a full service block. Just as I was about to fall asleep, the phone rang again. It was an unfamiliar number. I hesitated for a moment but still answered the call. Zara Lin, are you serious? You actually changed the password to Jincheng Garden too? I instantly realized that the person on the other end was Bo Ji-yu. Jincheng Garden is a high-end residential complex near the school, which I had lent to Bo Ji-yu to live in. His frantic tone likely meant that Uncle Wu had changed the password to the smart lock, and he couldn't get in. Fair enough. Now, their home has nothing left but the bed, so they thought of my big house, but they didn't expect me to be so thorough in my actions. Jincheng Garden is mine. I can change it as I please. Do I need to report to you? Bo Ji-yu was almost choked to death by me. But my things are still in your house. I yawned. Are you talking about your 2 towels and that toothbrush? I've already had someone pack them up and leave them at the security office. Just remember to pick them up later. Besides that, everything else was bought by me. I'd rather pack it up and donate it than leave it for him. Bogu's heavy breathing came from the other end. Fine, very well, Zara Lin. Even if you drive me to my death, it's useless. I don't love you, and I never will. I will never be with you. Beep. I heartlessly hung up the phone. Another block operation. Then leave a message for the property management of Jincheng Garden, telling them not to let Bo Ji-yu in anymore. It seems Bo Ji-yu still doesn't get it. I really don't love him anymore, so none of his tricks work on me anymore. Back to school, and on the second day, Bo Ji-yu didn't show up for class. I knew this would happen. He's so concerned about his reputation, and after such a public embarrassment, he'll probably hide for a few days before coming back, without Bo Ji-yu babbling around me all day. I found myself enjoying studying even more, thinking about our family's new energy project with Uncle Jong. I asked my dad to pull some strings and get me into our dean's project team. He has been working on the research and development of new energy batteries and is a leader in the industry, and I know he will definitely succeed in the future. After joining the project team, I unexpectedly ran into Jong Hung, Bogu's arch-rival, that outspoken and righteous young man. After getting to know him over a few days, I realized he is even better than I knew in my past life. Diligent and eager to learn, he is honest and straightforward. Like Bo Ji-yu, he is also from a poor family, and his circumstances are even worse, but he never tries to hide it. To save money, he often eats the simplest meals. Thinking about his situation, I always pack 2 extra dishes for him. He always graciously thanks me for my kindness, never distort, not a bit of Bogu's awkwardness. He seemed to notice my confusion and said clearly, "Classmate Lin, I'm not an ingrate. I, Jong Hung, do know how to spell gratitude." Hearing this, I laughed. Yeah, in this world, there are ungrateful people, but there are also good people who know how to be grateful. What is there to fear about being poor? As long as you work hard, the situation will eventually change one day. But if a person is poor in spirit, they will never improve in their entire life. Jong Hung, he is not poor at heart. Such a person will never fall short in the future, and he almost succeeded in his previous life. This matter was told to me as a joke by Bo Ji-yu. He said Zhongheng developed the key technology for new energy batteries and even secured the patent. Soon, he will be able to join the ranks of the tech elite and cross class boundaries. Who would have thought that because he saved money and didn't eat properly when he was young, he ended up getting stomach cancer and passed away early? I'm not a saint. But for such a good person, I am willing to lend him a hand. After talking with Zhongheng, I chose to sponsor him. The cost is that if his project succeeds one day, he must prioritize cooperation with our Lin family's company. The conditions sound a bit harsh, because the future value of the project in his hands is insignificant compared to this funding. Unexpectedly, Zhongheng readily accepted. Zhongheng said to me with a smile, "I can tell the difference between a one-time feast and a lifetime of meals. Following Miss Lin, I won't go hungry, so this deal is a win for me. What capitalist gives me 2 health checkups a year and feeds me this well every day? I'm sticking with you as my boss." Just as everything was going smoothly on my end, Bo Ji-yu suddenly returned. Along with him came the 5 million yuan project he secured for new energy research and development. I narrowed my eyes as I watched him. Holding Jiang Xinyu in the crowd and stealing the spotlight, I'm certain that Bo Ji-yu has also returned. How nice. I might not have been so ruthless toward the 18-year-old Bo Ji-yu, but I will show no mercy to the 38-year-old Bo Ji-yu. Bo Ji-yu has once again become the center of attention. The favored son of heaven. All the stigma was washed away because of the project he brought with him. He was also targeting the new energy market. We, who have lived a second life, all know how dazzling this field will be in the future. What I didn't expect was that his target was also Zhongheng. It's just that Zhongheng would never look down on someone like him. Zhongheng often tells us about his interactions with him as a joke in the lab. The investment Bo Ji-yu found was provided by Zhong's uncle's arch-rival. He used the knowledge and experience accumulated from his past life to persuade the other party to invest, but he didn't know that I had already blocked this new energy path. Bo Ji-yu repeatedly hit a wall with Zhongheng, and in desperation, he came to me. "Zara Lin, you're back too, right?" Bo Ji-yu took advantage of me being alone and called out to ask. I gave him a strange look. "What are you barking about?" Bo Gu's face turned ashen. "It really wasn't you." I rolled my eyes at him. "If it's not me, then who could it be?" "Your mom. I couldn't possibly give birth to an unfilial son like you. Why are you so rude now?" "Because my tenderness isn't for people I dislike." Get lost. What kind of disgusting thing are you?" Bo Ji-yu was successfully angered into leaving by me, trying to probe my true situation. Dream on. 15 million may seem like a lot, but it's nowhere near enough to cover the research and development of new energy. However, Bo Ji-yu is very optimistic. He had successfully started a business in his previous life. He refuses to believe that with the wisdom of 2 lifetimes, he still can't succeed. I looked at the report the private investigator gave me and shook my head with amusement. "Bo Ji-yu, you really won't succeed. Without the help of our Lin family, who else would give you so many resources? Your arrogance will lead to your own downfall sooner or later. All I need to do is add fuel to the fire." Bo Gu's 5 million was spent faster than he had imagined. It's a pity that after so long, even the expert road team here hasn't been properly established, so his investors are unlikely to provide additional funding. He went everywhere seeking investment, only to find it much harder to secure than he had imagined. Why is that? It seemed so easy in my previous life. I found everyone's gossip about Bo Ji-yu quite amusing, because, without the Lin family son-in-law as your stepping stone, you can't even get through their front door. The smooth sailing in your previous life was all because of us. Bo Ji-yu, who couldn't raise any money, started scheming against me again. I don't know what he was thinking, but he repeatedly came to me, striking poses, looking up at the sky at a 45-degree angle, showing off his delicate jawline. Unfortunately, in my eyes, which are devoid of love and affection, he is nothing but trash. Zhongheng and I are in the same project team, and every time Bo Ji-yu acts flirtatious, he is by my side. Over time, Bo Ji-yu finally couldn't hold back anymore. He sneered at Zhongheng and said, "TSK, a freeloader." This was the title Bo Ji-yu disliked the most in his past life. He felt the emotional devastation of this word reached a level 10. He used the word he thought was the most damaging to stab at Jongheng's heart. Unfortunately, Jongheng was not like him. Jongheng stared at him, nodded, and said, "You're right. My teeth aren't good, so I prefer to eat soft rice." Bo Jiyu was stunned. "What did you say?" Jongheng shouted. "I said I love being a freeloader. I am a freeloader. Did you hear me clearly this time? You ungrateful wretch. I, Jongheng, am not like some people who freeload shamelessly, pretending to be righteous while taking advantage of others." Bo Jiyu felt as if struck by lightning. He had never seen anyone so calmly accept such a title. That shouldn't be the case. Shouldn't men care about their pride? Unfortunately, Jongheng had no intention of being his emotional mentor. Seeing how stunned he looked, he grabbed me and left, but my departing steps were halted by a hand reaching out from the side. "Zara Lin, why?" Bo Jiyu grabbed my arm and asked in confusion. "Why did you suddenly stop liking me? Clearly, Jongheng and I are both poor guys." I moved Bo Gu's hand away and said, word by word, "What status do you have to question me? And you're nothing like him, Jongheng. His heart isn't poor." After saying that, I turned and walked away. He tried to follow, but Jongheng firmly stopped him. "Yes, he doesn't deserve it. A rotten person like Bo Jiyu, without my love to rely on, doesn't even have the right to come near me." Bo Jiyu finally secured the investment. With the other party claiming to be an angel investor, he wanted to check the other party's credentials. But the other party turned hostile and threatened to withdraw the investment. Bo Jiyu immediately said he wouldn't look into anything further, then signed a bunch of agreements and took 2 million from them. When I saw this message from the private investigator, I almost laughed myself to tears. "Fine, great. Bo Jiyu, you dare to take someone else's money without even looking." As expected, a cornered dog will jump over the wall. He is so desperate for success that he dares to take any money. Just like me in my past life, I wanted revenge at that time. I had finally managed to get a project, but Bo Jiyu, afraid that I would retaliate after succeeding, set up this trap to frame me. As a result, the project wasn't completed on schedule as expected, and I have to pay the other party a high penalty fee, 100 million. 100 million. I could never pay it back in my lifetime. I can only repay it with my life. Now Bo Jiyu, it's time to return your life to me. Bo Jiyu failed. He owed the other party 300 million, then he vanished into thin air. Everyone thought he was dead, but I didn't think so. A scoundrel like him wants to live more than anyone else. That day was the Mid-Autumn Festival, and our whole school had a holiday. After having dinner out with my mom and dad, when we returned to the villa, I saw Bo Jiyu sitting at the front gate. He was unshaven, looking like a drowned dog. Seeing our car approaching, he crashed right into it, scaring Uncle Wu so much he almost had a heart attack. Once the car came to a stop, my dad got out, furious, and gave Bo Jiyu a good scolding. Then, when he got a clear look at Bo Gu's eyes, he was startled. They were so red they looked like they were about to bleed. Bo Jiyu looked at my dad and my mom, smiled, and then laughed until tears came out. "You two have come to claim my life, haven't you?" "Yes, in our past life, I was the one who tampered with your car. Who told you two old fools to look down on me?" My parents looked at me, their faces full of terror. Where did this lunatic come from? I picked up my phone and quietly made a call. Bo Jiyu suddenly looked up at me. "It was you, wasn't it? You've also been reborn, and you're here for revenge, right?" I smiled without saying a word. "Do you want to know the truth? I just won't tell you. Why should I let you die with clarity? You deserve to die in utter confusion and misery. It doesn't matter if you stay silent. I know it's you." Bo Jiyu screamed like a madman. "This whole scheme was tailor-made for me by you, wasn't it? Every step, every move, it's all you're doing. I used this to kill you back then. So now you're returning the favor. I made you owe 100 million, and you made me owe 300 million. You vile woman, how can you be so malicious? And how can your life be so tenacious? I'm going to kill you." A fierce glint flashed in Bo Gu's eyes as he pulled out a knife and swung it at me. My parents saw it and rushed forward, vying to shield me from the fatal blow, but Bo Gu's knife would never reach us again. The debt collectors were lying in ambush near our house. I was the one who tipped them off, because I knew he would definitely come looking for me. They arrived before Bo Jiyu could get the knife, and Bo Jiyu was arrested. Before those people dragged him away, he was kneeling on the ground begging me like a dog. "Zara, a day as husband and wife brings 100 days of kindness. Please, save me. I was wrong. I am worse than a pig or a dog. I am ungrateful. I really regret it. I was wrong. I was truly wrong. Save me. I looked at Bogu's miserable state, and the last bit of resentment in my heart vanished. He will be worse off than I was in my previous life. In their hands, he didn't even have the right to die. He would live, day and night, trapped in this immense regret, until those people had squeezed the last bit of value from him. I didn't look at Bogu again, and with a gesture, I had those people take Bogu away. Even from far away, I could still hear Bogu's screams. My dad leaned over curiously and asked, Zara, what is that Bogu talking nonsense about? What does he mean by couple and killing us? Dad, he's just talking nonsense. Why would you believe the words of a madman? I don't believe it, I don't believe it. It's a good thing you saw his true colors early on. How could we possibly have a madman as a son-in-law? Yeah, how could we possibly have a madman? Fortunately, I had seen through it all long ago in my life. After Bogu was arrested, his sister came to see me once. She said her mother's uremia had gotten worse, and since Bogu couldn't be found, she had no choice but to come to me, her sister-in-law. Her self-righteous attitude made my mother so angry that she had someone throw her out, then urged the property management to ensure that our area is well protected. Don't let just any random person come in. Bogu's damn illness is really serious. He finally managed to scrape together some money to go to the hospital, but his sister took it all and spent it on luxury goods. Her mother died alone in the rental house, and the landlord only cursed the bad luck. All of this was told to me by Jong-hun. I haven't paid attention to the affairs of the Bogu family for a long time. These people, without me, this is the result. In their previous lives, they stepped on my shoulders and got to see a world that wasn't theirs. But in the end, they still think this ladder of mine is dirty. I want you to know now, without me as this ladder to the heavens, you don't even have the right to look up at me. I respect your fate, but this is the outcome you've brought upon yourselves. Fortunately, I've managed to avoid these rotten people in this lifetime. I will live well every day in the future, embracing my own brilliant life. Dear girls, I hope you learn to love yourselves before loving others, avoid toxic people, and create your own beautiful life.